They didn't just look. They stared. Like she wasn't a person. Just a walking headline. A warning. Terrorist. The word hung in the air like a curse, muttered just loud enough for her to hear as she walked past their table in her light blue hijab, holding her coffee. But what they didn't know was this. The woman they feared was the one who would save them. Amina Khan had always believed in service. Born in Michigan, raised with values of compassion, dignity, and faith, she had graduated with top honors and landed a competitive medical residency in a small Texas town. She thought the hardest part would be the long hours. She was wrong. From the very first day, the air felt thick with suspicion. It wasn't just the stares. It was the silence that came with them. The way conversations in hospital corridors stopped mid-sentence when she entered. The way patients asked if there was someone else who could treat them. But she kept showing up. Every morning after her shift, Amina stopped at a local café across the street. A quiet corner shop with warm lights and cool air, it should have been a haven. Instead, it became a stage for silent judgment. The first time she walked in, she was met with hushed laughter and side eyes. She ordered a cappuccino. The barista, a blonde woman with sharp eyeliner, didn't reply. She just turned around and started the machine. When the drink was finally placed on the counter, it came with a forced smile and 4 bitter words. "Don't blow it up." Amina froze. She looked at the woman, then around her. Laughter from a man near the window. A snort from the cashier. She swallowed hard, took the cup, and left. She didn't say a word. The next day, she went again. And again. She refused to let hate dictate her rhythm. But the comments didn't stop. Someone whispered, Al-Qaeda Barbie. Another said, ISIS intern. She came home one night and sat on the edge of her bed, staring at her hijab in the mirror. Part of her wanted to rip it off. But she didn't. She prayed instead. Then came Friday. The morning was thick with gray clouds. It had rained all night. Amina had just finished a 12-hour ER shift. Blood, screams, tears, and she was drained. She crossed the street, pulling her coat tighter as the wind sliced through her scrubs. As she neared the cafe, she saw a group of people standing outside, not helping, just standing. Then she saw her. An elderly woman, collapsed on the wet pavement, body twitching, eyes rolling. Amina didn't hesitate. She dropped her bag, tore off her coat, and knelt on the cold concrete. Her knees soaked instantly. Rain fell harder. She checked the woman's pulse faint. Breathing erratic. "Ma'am? Can you hear me?" No response. She tilted the woman's head, cleared her airway, and began chest compressions, counting under her breath, focused, calm despite the storm around her. People recorded. Nobody helped. Her hijab clung to her face, her fingers trembling from cold, but she kept going. Someone shouted, "Hey, don't touch her." Another barked, "Where's the real doctor?" But Amina didn't stop. She was the doctor. Minutes passed. Finally, a weak cough. The woman's fingers twitched. Color returned to her lips. The paramedics arrived, pushing through the crowd. One looked at Amina and froze. He recognized her. "Dr. Khan? You were the one who stabilized the burn victim last week." She nodded, breathless. The woman was lifted onto a stretcher. As they wheeled her away, the bystanders slowly dispersed, silent, ashamed. Except for one man. Late 20s. Baseball cap. Tattooed forearm. He held up his phone and said, "I filmed everything. Hope that's okay." Amina, wiping her hands on her soaked pants, gave him a tired smile. "What you do with it is your choice." He hesitated, then asked, "Why'd you help her? After how they treat you?" She looked him in the eye. "Because hate doesn't get the final say. My faith teaches mercy, not revenge." That night, the video went online. Within hours, it blew up. No background music. No filters. Just raw footage of a hijabi woman in scrubs, kneeling in the rain, saving someone who might have insulted her hours before. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Amina the hero. Hashtag hijab of hope. Hashtag not a terrorist. Hashtag American Muslim doctor. TikTok duets poured in. Celebrities reposted it. Major outlets like CNN and NBC picked it up with headlines like, "Muslim doctor saves life in town that feared her." Even politicians tweeted. Messages of support flooded in from across the globe. The café? It was flooded too, with bad reviews, protests, and a demand for answers. The barista was fired. The owner issued an apology. But Amina? She didn't want revenge. She didn't want fame. She just wanted dignity. A week later, Amina received a bouquet of lilies with a handwritten note. It read, "I was wrong. I judged you. I feared your scarf. You saved my mother's life. I will never forget that. Thank you." It was from the daughter of the woman she saved. Later, the hospital invited Amina to speak at a community outreach event. She stepped up to the mic in her navy hijab, heart pounding. She said, "When people look at me, they often see fear. But fear is a choice, and so is compassion. I didn't come here to change your beliefs. I came to treat your wounds, no matter who you are." She received a standing ovation. Today, Amina continues her work, in that same hospital, in that same town. Some still whisper, but others now speak with respect. Because kindness went viral. Thank you for watching this powerful true story on Stories for Change. Subscribe for more emotional real-life tales that inspire justice, humanity, and hope.